You know, the human brain is absolutely it's so confusing. I'm starting to understand why there's no cure for dementia yet, okay? Because people always ask, oh, why is there no cure for dementia? But there's a cure for all this other shit. Like, they can figure out all this other shit, but they can't figure out dementia? Dude, let me tell you all about my grandma real quick. So my grandma, she's almost 80. She has dementia. She's been in the hospital for the past 2 weeks, okay? She got out today. I went to go visit her. She's doing better. But she went to the hospital because she was sick. And this sickness, whatever she had, was causing her to stay up. And not like, oh, I'm staying up and I can't sleep. I get like an hour's sleep. No, 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 no. She stayed up for 8 days straight. And I'm not talking, oh, 8 days straight and I'm tired. No, 8 days straight and she was talking the whole time. The entire time I've ever known my grandma, since I was born, she was not a talker. She didn't talk. But during this state of like delirium, right, she couldn't remember anything. We thought it was speeding up her dementia. She couldn't remember her husband. She couldn't remember my mom. But here's what's crazy. Okay, she finally got some sleep. She woke up. Then she could remember my granddad and my mom. Okay, so she finally got sleep. She wasn't in this state of delirium. But what didn't go away was the fact that she was still talking. She was talking a lot. And again, I've never known her as a talker because I've only ever known her when her dementia was pretty bad already, right? But I asked my dad, I was like, has grandma ever been like this? And he was like, yeah, this is how she was before the dementia. Like, she used to talk all the time. Dude, she's an Italian lady from the Bronx. You think she's not going to talk? She just has dementia. I don't know what's going on. And I went to visit her today. Sure enough, she spoke more in 30 minutes than I've ever heard her speak to me in my life, okay? I walked in. She said, "Oh, are you my grandson?" And I said, "I am. Yes, ma'am, I am." She said, "Oh, I like your hair." I said, "Thank you." My girlfriend did it. And she goes, "I don't want it. I can't do it. I don't want it." I said, "Grandma, I'm not going to do it to you. I understand." And she said, "You got a lot of jewelry on. I like the jewelry." I said, "Thank you. Yeah, I do have a lot of jewelry on." She goes, "I don't want it." She don't want anything. "I don't want it." Okay, don't put it in my will. Grandma, I'm not going to put my jewelry in your will. I promise I won't do that. Like, it literally felt like I was meeting the grandma that I was supposed to meet. Like, I was meeting her actual personality. My mom and dad were literally telling me, like, this is how she used to act. This is her personality. This is what she used to be like. And it wasn't even just the talking. She started to recall shit, too, because usually, right, something would happen. A few hours would pass. She'd have no idea it happened. But for some reason, earlier in the day, my grandma had met some guy named Bob, okay? He was decked out in A&M merch. He was sitting in a wheelchair in the middle of the hallway. We had all met him. And about 8 hours later, me and my dad had ran into him again in the hallway. And then we go into my grandma's room and we're talking about Bob. Because he was a funny guy, so we were talking about him, right? My grandma goes, "Who are y'all talking about?" And we said, "Oh, we're talking about your neighbor Bob, the guy with all the A&M merch." And she goes, "Oh, yeah, the wheelchair. Yeah, Bob, I remember him. I met him. He's a nice guy." Well, you can just stay up for 8 days and all of a sudden you just remember shit? What the fuck is going on, Grandma? What?